Welcome back to Factorio Seablock, and it's time to build washing plants and hopefully get some more mud and hence more land out of it. So to get started with that, I've built some washing plants here, and we're going to build them sort of so the final output comes over here to this side into our brown algae farm. So anywhere around here will do. Let's put it there for now, and we're just going to lay them all out. Hopefully should be enough. We'll see. So the first one we're going to need is the saline water one, and then we're going to need this one, and then we're going to need this one, then this one, and finally this one. I'm not going to worry too much about the names. The only thing I need to do is make sure I rotate so that water is at the top. I don't have enough land down there just yet to be able to put it on the bottom. Okay, so as you can see, the inputs now on the right hand side is the muddier water, then slightly less. And each of the inputs and outputs match. So we should end up with saline water at the end, and we can just send it that way. And then on that just means we need to input water somehow. So again, with our usual way we would do sort of underground pipes like this. Because we're going to need to supply these with power, and we're going to need to get stuff out of them. So we do need to make sure these are piped to grounds. There we go. So we can just feed in water to this line. Have I got a pump? I think I do. Do I want it one further away? We'll see later. Okay, so water is now going in, and then we just need some power as well. So let's just line up some power along here also. And then we should have at least one of the inputs we need. The other one is viscous mud water, which I think I showed you this seafloor pump. So we shall do that. And that will get us the viscous mud water. Now this should start making these outputs. There we go. So the only one we're not dealing with is this one. And that's the is it hydrogen sulfide? Let's see, is it concentrated? No, let's just see. Where are you? Going back to this one, heavy mud water. There we go. Hydrogen sulfide, which we're going to use to make sulfur. Okay, so we need to route that output somewhere, which means I'm going to need a little bit more land. Let me just, well, I'm actually going to need to use those. And then here as well. And then we can get some of this routed this way. And go underneath all of these. And then we can then pull it this way. Okay, so we've got hydrogen sulfide there. I've moved our oxygen flare stack over here with an overflow valve. So if this ever gets to 80%, which is it is around about now, it will output into the flare stack. Otherwise, we have basically an 80% full pipe of oxygen that we can do whatever we like with. And that means we need a chemical plant. Did I make one? I did. Okay. And, oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, that is... No, that's okay. So if we didn't choose that there, and then we select that we want sulfur. Sulfur. There we go. We may have to move it out once we've got more land here. We'll point it the other way. And of course the inputs are the wrong way around, so we're going to have to put it the other way anyway. So let's just do that now. And that will be fine. Let's select that as sulfur. We can connect this side with oxygen. And this side we can connect with, so I've got to go that first. Connect with you. You're actually not worthwhile doing that with, really. But yeah, let's just change you over. And it needs some power, but otherwise that will start producing sulfur. So we can box it up for now. And I got a couple of inserters as well. We've now got fast inserters, but that needs electronic circuits. So we'll have to deal with that soon anyway. And as you can see, it's already handcrafting the basic circuit board. So maybe we need to get into some kind of automated way of doing that. I handcrafted some alginic acid to shortcut that process, but otherwise we do actually need to make that a little bit better. So let's just grab both of you and 2 boxes. And that will do it for sulfur, I think. Now let's take a look at what this is doing. So you're blocked on the output on mud and on this heavy mud water because this is processing, but it does take quite some time to actually output. However, that does mean we should have mud output. So if I put a belt, I've got to put it here, haven't I? Yeah. And then put an inserter. Got the materials for just one inserter. But we should be able to have a belt that has mud on it now. And in fact, we may want to go combine the two and go this way as well, because we're short on space otherwise. But if I grab, yeah, I can just grab the mud manually for now, in fact, instead of outputting it. I'll stop it from being blocked. And how much mud have I got? 55. Okay, let's see what the recipe is for mud to grass or sand in our case. Let's just see if there's, is there a sand recipe in here? Soil. Ooh, soil's actually going to be handy. Soil is 1 mud, 1 compost, and that needs fermentation base, which needs corn, which needs wheaten. Yeah, let's not worry about that just yet. So mud. How can we make mud into sand? Can we make it into sand? Grass. Ah, there we go. Sand. So just a regular assembly machine will do just fine, which means if I've just got a box up here somewhere, and I can just hand put it into this box. Let's make an assembly machine. Yeah, I'm out of, what am I out of? Basic circuit boards. Not enough ingredients. Okay, what am I short of on basic circuit boards or iron gear wheels? Basic circuit boards. Wooden board. I've got the acid. I've got the copper. What are you short on then? Board. Board. Paper. Cellulose pulp. Cellulose fiber, but I should just be able to make that. Okay, not that I particularly want to. So yeah, I probably should make some more of that up and get that sorted. So let me do that off camera. Now, I think because I forgot to feed the steam engines, we had a shortage of carbon, which, charcoal, which then caused a shortage of dioxide, carbon dioxide that is, which caused the shortage in this entire loop, which stopped things from working entirely. So for now, I've just shut off our carbon production. I've got over a stack of it just in case we need it for the steam engines. And I'm just going to use it to make sure this process restarts before I kick everything back into gear again. So that's just something to keep an eye on if you have this kind of production chain. So I've removed the hydro plant from here, and we've got an entire output of this chain here is saline water, and it's basically getting, well, blocked. Mainly because this doesn't use it fast enough. So we could build another algae farm, but for now I think I'm just going to put another overflow valve in right here. And then if it's above 80%, which it is, it should overflow to here, which will then feed into this, which we can then connect to the rest of the system. So this will get rid of that extra saline water that we don't currently need, while making sure that this is all unblocked, apart from, of course, mud, which I can hand grab at the moment, but we don't want to do that in the future. Can I make that assembly machine yet? No, I can't. I'm still short on stuff. So I need to go and grab the stuff needed, and let's build that. Okay, so here we can now set this up to be a sand, I guess. Sand from crushed stone. Nope, we want the other recipes. Sand from mud. And we can then put an inserter in place, and then just dump all of our mud in here to be produced. How much did it take? Oh wow, that's quite slow. Okay, we may as well box up or add a box then for our mud. Another inserter. Just to feed this thing with enough. And put the mud in there. Okay, so that should just continue to fill this up. Is that just producing 1 from 25? Shouldn't that be taking 5 seconds? Are we out of electricity? Oh, we're out of electricity. That's why. Okay, and this is the other problem. Yeah, the shortage is quite severe now, and I need to go and sort that. So we're only just fulfilling this at full speed now. So it's hoovering through this carbon. It's not slowing down at all. And that in turn is affecting the carbon production system down here. Yeah, we're getting some of it, but not not quickly, because now it's having to wait on this. Now I have upgraded this from a liquefier to a chemical plant. It's technically faster than before, so we can just dump a lot of algae in it at once and it will produce quite fast, like this. So that does work, but of course we don't have fast inserters from here, and if I build fast inserters we only have a few of these electronic circuits and we don't have any way to make more of them yet, so I don't use them. I don't think I don't want to do that at all, just in case we need it for something else. So now I have to sort out a way of getting probably more algae, and well, not more algae but necessarily more these chemical plants sorted. And we're sort of out of space here, really. And I think what we may have to do for that is just try to unload a lot of this algae onto a belt and then somehow have that put into this system, which may mean I need to just move a lot of it somewhere else. So how much dirt have we got? We got 85 for landfill, so that's not a great amount in the whole scheme of things. So let me do most of that off camera. I think just move this around somewhat, try and generate. What I could do, I guess, is move that off-site somewhere and then just feed in the carbon dioxide via pipe rather than occupying all this space that we could be using up for something else. But we need to grab carbon from somewhere if I'm going to do that. Time for a quick rethink. Okay, I've cleaned this area up a little bit. This one chemical plant keeps up with an algae farm just fine. Because I don't want to craft the fast inserters, I've got 4 inserters here, one just going normal and this one being right angle, so you know it's basically got 4 inserters feeding directly in here. As you can see, it is actually waiting for this isn't backing up at all, so this is as fast as we can make all of this until we get more electricity and of course more algae farms, which of course both need more land. So over here I've started to build out this land area so that we can put some steam engines in here. I've made one of them around somewhere. Steam engine, there it is. So we should be able to fit this in, and that is now running. So we can then put the carbon on this line, and that will work. But of course, I'm probably going to need to transfer over. Let's just see if I can get enough of this area built. Yeah, I can probably transfer that other steam engine over. And can we get a second line in here? Because this essentially will become automatic here. The only problem is, will it take up too much charcoal from our carbon dioxide, which is feeding this whole process? I do want more of these green algae farms, but it's just the available land at the moment. Ooh, more land. So we can just take all this up from here. And we can probably replace those with the original... let's make sure they're all in the right place. They are. Ooh, apart from that one, I guess. That's all right. Why are you in the wrong place? Is it because these are in the wrong place? Let's just get rid of that again. We don't need this water pipe anymore, extending from the top. So let's just get rid of that. And then we can just put these in the right place. Let's put you there. And there. Okay, so that's all back to the original state, and we'll move this electrolysis unit at some point as well. Ooh, more land. Let's pick that up while we're going, and let's just do a mud run. Let's keep calling this. Oh, we do actually need more land down there as well, so I can just feed this into a mud factory. But for now, it works quite well. So I've turned off the research just because it was using up all my iron, and I'm literally out of iron now. I need this supply of iron, which is not very much at all. So I'm just a lot of the time I'm rearranging rather than building from scratch. So let's put this second engine in here, and that will work. I think we can go over one more. We can connect that way. So we will need another boiler for that, which I'm probably out of iron for. I am out of iron. Oh no, I've got a boiler. That's fine. Then a problem with it, of course, will be the available carbon supply. We'll see how well that goes. So let's just connect that up. And we're going to need another steam engine. That's going to be about 30 iron or so, which I don't have yet. How are you doing? So it's 50, and that's just going to deplete. And it's producing, but I'm not quite happy with how much it's producing. Let me put it that way. It doesn't appear to be all that much, even when I've optimized this. So we may have to just wait for algae farms. Even when I don't have enough electricity, everything still works, it just slows down. You can see I have enough now with 3 steam engines, but that may end up depleting our carbon supply. Okay, so I'm just going to keep an eye on it. And what's the next research we can go for? I've turned off the system, of course, but that doesn't mean we can stop. Doesn't mean we need to stop. So that will let us make electronic circuits, which will let me make fast inserters. And they need basic electronic boards, which needs basic circuit boards, electronic components, and solder. Solder comes from solder plate and alginic acid, so that's going to be some of our processing of brown algae. Okay, that may be worthwhile taking next. Waterboard, does the waterboard even work? I don't think it does in Angels and Bobs, so I doubt it will actually work here. Or at least it didn't used to. That's wastewater purification. Chemical processing. Chemical furnace. Yeah, let's take that. Okay, and when I run out of these, which will be quite quickly, we can obviously just re-enable this. And the only reason this is disabled, I've got these inserters pointing sideways just for now to get me a bit more iron and copper. And at some point, we're going to have to bulk up on, these crushers, and in turn, the crystallizer, or at least get some better way of getting ore. And one thing I'm going to try just for safety is I've removed this second liquefier here for carbon dioxide. I'm going to make sure this is the only one producing it. It seems to be quite fast. So we'll do that with a valve, I want to say. Yep, an overflow valve, just like we've done before. This one is going to point that way and connect in. So if this is above 80%, it's then going to release carbon dioxide to make carbon, essentially, through this system. If it doesn't reach 80%, i.e. if our main plant over here isn't receiving it, or hasn't got enough carbon dioxide, it's not going to open. So the priority then will be the carbon dioxide for the algae farm. So that should never shut the algae farm down through a lack of carbon dioxide. On the other side, its only other ingredient is mineralized water, which comes from this, and this produces far more than enough mineralized water for several of these plants. So I think once we set everything back up again, I'll get some nice pipe back. Once we set this back up again, we can then use one of these to feed multiple of these. So we'll see how well that does in practice once we get to that point. But for now, I'm just going to keep monitoring it and see how well it actually does. Are you getting? Well, you're getting some carbon dioxide, and I think the overflow system is working. So I think it's not only opening slowly. What's its rate like? 26, 26.5. So clearly, most of it is going to the other plant. Let's just see how well it does now, that because these come in batches from the furnace, so you have to watch out. So that is increasing. Yeah, but not very. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, so it is actually working. It's just going to be slow, which means it's going to cut off the carbon to our power system. But that does make sure that this system will not shut down. It'll just be quite slow. Okay, so with an extra algae plant in here producing green algae, I've moved the brown one down there. We've got this one supplying both of them with mineralized water, and on the outputs we've got this single chemical plant which is able to keep up, but its output keeps getting blocked, I think. So maybe if we put in an extra one of these in, we should be able to solve that problem. So let's just grab you for a second. And interestingly, I'm probably going to have to go with a gap in between just to keep the space working. And then we'll just select pellets here and here. We can move that one out of the middle, and then we've got to go play a little bit of fun and games with power poles. Shouldn't be terribly hard. Let's just grab that one from there and there. So we just need to configure you to... yeah, I don't have the diagonals yet. Actually, no, that's fine. We can just put them here instead. We've got to sort out the power. But we should be able to grab from here and output over here. Yeah, that works. It's not terribly fast by comparison, but that should do just fine. And I can hopefully make a power pole. Oh, it's going to craft wooden bricks. Never mind. Can I just remove one? I can just remove one. You will do. And put it there. Configure it to grab from down, send it that way. Okay, so now we have 2 factories there. These are producing pellets, and you are blocked on the output because we've got no fuel. Let's just fuel you back up again. Just use charcoal for now. And yeah, let's put another inserter there. Let's make sure you are fully fueled. Oh, well, fully fed for your inputs. Will you output fast enough now, or do I need another output? We just have to wait for this backlog to clear. However, now we've got 2 assembly machines getting enough cellulose fibre, which should then feed this single assembly machine to get bricks, and then should feed charcoal into the rest of our system. These are out of these are just out of fuel entirely because, of course, this overflow valve is keeping everything safe. These algae farms are now consuming quite a lot of carbon dioxide, so we may well need a second one of these liquefiers to keep up, and that, of course, will have a hit on our electricity, which is nowhere near good enough at the moment, but I guess we've just got to go for it. Let's just remove this side, and then we should be able to... Do I have a liquefier still? I may still have... Oh, I think I do have one. Yeah, because we removed those extra ones, and that will do. Just copy that recipe across, put a inserter there, and they'll sort of share. They'll fight a little bit for that charcoal, but then we can get it to add this to the system. And then I guess we got to go around this way, and then maybe move that one further out. Then we can put our overflow valve back in. Where is it? It's in my inventory. There we go. Overflow valve. And we can go underneath. Ooh, can't go there. Can I move this somewhere else for now? Just temporarily. See where I need to go. And... There we go. That should be enough. And are we producing enough carbon dioxide now to... Yeah, it looks like we are. Whether we'll be left with any charcoal up here is another thing entirely, but at least it's behind an overflow valve. So that should, in turn, make sure we feed enough back to our 2 algae farms now. So we've doubled our scale of algae, and some is getting through to the steam engines, although they are going to need connective power there. So I am going to have to go and just remove... this is a good thing. Yeah, I can't I can't do anything with that because that's a water pipe. I'm gonna have to move the water pipe otherwise, so I may have to bring it up here instead. Yeah, let's do that. Take you out. That's a bit of an issue there, so a bit of finagling around to get this to work. But otherwise, that can connect, and so can this. That means this water pipe is no longer needed. And then we can just connect in with a regular pipe, I guess. Yep. In fact, no. We need that space for the power pole, didn't we? To make sure this doesn't have problems. There we go. So put that underground pipe and connect everything up, and we are sorted. So now our only problem would be how much of this is coming in, this charcoal. Are we backing up? We're not. So it is keeping up with everything, but not necessarily keeping up with our demands anymore. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so after a little time running, we've now got a system whereby we're building back on the carbon. It's nicely stacking up. That's feeding our steam engines just fine because I've deployed all of our turbines, these wind turbines. They are made using steel, so we can make more, but steel plate... steel plate is in here somewhere. Steel plate. Made in a furnace, of course, but it's going to take 8 iron plate for each, and I've not got much iron plate at all. So we could make more of them, but at the same time, well, at the moment we are okay with satisfaction. and this is piling up because this isn't needed quite as fast as we've previously been using it. So I haven't fed this second row just yet, but we can expand. Over here, everything is backing up in the algae plants now, so there are more than enough to feed a single chemical plant, which is faster than a liquefier. They're doing the same job. So we could technically go up to 2 liquefiers or 2 chemical plants, and then these wouldn't get backed up. That will get us more stuff, but in turn, I have to rearrange this whole system again. But it should be relatively straightforward in that I can just put it right, well, I have to move that around somewhere. We can just move it up here or something and then just run that way, and then just put one here and one here, and you get the idea. That will work perfectly fine. I've just got an output to the left splitter here just to make sure that this furnace is always kept fed. That's the other thing, and it's being fed with charcoal, which is slightly inefficient, but I don't care that much. We've got more than enough, and in fact, yeah, stone furnace. Why is it just really backed up and I don't have a fast inserter here? Yeah, lots and lots of charcoal. So I'll just move that by hand into this box and everything should redistribute. There we go. They're all going to get some, and this will feed carbon dioxide when it needs to. Okay, so we've got the system sort of corrected now. I've got the researching system back on again. It's using up all my available iron. But we do actually need to just keep researching, and I've got a nice amount of land now, so we're sort of coming to the point where I can start to see hundreds of landfill again instead of just 1 or 2 whenever I need it. So I think the next thing is just to probably automate this mud run I keep doing occasionally, and just put an assembly machine down there that will just use that from a box, and we'll just make yet more landfill for us, which is definitely going to be needed. And I guess from that point, I'm going to just get more and more landfill, and then we need to expand our available building land quite significantly. So I think we're going to build over here, and maybe eventually put some large amount of algae farms. You can see just how large they are on this screen. We have to move all 4, so we have to go all the way over there like that, and then we'll have to have maybe another set of electrolyzers, which is going to go straight into some crushers, which will feed this mineral plant, which will then feed multiple algae plants, and we'll have those running separately so that these, or this side of things, once we move all this out, can be left towards making ores or something along those lines. So let's see how long this lasts. Probably not very long at all. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not very much at all. And you'll notice you can go over existing ground with landfill, and it sort of turns into this compacted hard land. I don't think there's any actual difference, unless there's a speed difference, but I don't see one. But that can use up your landfill if you're just dragging it all over the place, so you may want to be a bit careful when placing it. So that's this episode, I think. Basically fixing power as much as we can actually fix power and scaling things up. I think next episode we're going to have to look at the algae plants and scaling them up again, and probably more importantly the ores, because I'm not getting much ore at all because of the research system, which is perfectly fine, but we probably want an independent source of ore if this research system is going to take all of it, which it certainly seems to be doing at the moment. And then we've got to get into some kind of automated way of getting the boards, the electronic boards, that is, because... where are they? Boards? There they are. This, I'm having to handcraft them at the moment, and that means I can't build lots of different assembly machines, etc., because I have to essentially forage for stuff still, like this pulp and cellulose fibre. Yeah, cellulose pulp. And that makes up the wooden boards. So we definitely have to get that automated. And that's going to probably be next episode too, hopefully. So hopefully you join me for that. Feel free to like, subscribe, share as normal. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.